we will be talking about something. Why am I interested in nuclear itself? Well, it's a pretty long story. See, back in 2025, which is last year, I played this game called Flood Escape 2. Flood Escape 2 is a game on Roblox, basically made up of like parkour, music, and styled parkour and obbies. And usually the maps would be industrial. For example, we could say like Construction Thrill, Northern Mill, they're all industrial. And honestly, the industrial stuff for me was pretty interesting. So I was pretty interested. Then there was also some like other stuff like energy, like all those cool stuff in Flood Escape 2, like the parkours that are, or the parkour courses or maps that look similar to like industrial builds. So it's pretty interesting. So I decided to go on Minecraft and make this like nuclear testing facility, which was its original name before it was changed to the Bonte Nuclear Power Plant. And back then I didn't know how power plants actually make energy. I only know that there's a reactor core, and yeah. And usually with this, I would just make up my own stuff by saying, "Oh, the reactor holds in everything. The reactor reacts." Yeah, I'll say a lot of stuff. And honestly, none of it would make sense. But this would just make me more interested in how they actually work. So I started studying, and I realized how they make energy, the basics. And then I started learning deeply how they actually truly make energy and their systems and how they fully work. I also learned controls. And by then, it was already like, it was already by then like early 2026, which is of this year. But at this time, I still didn't know much about nuclear power plants. That was until my birthday when I started playing this game called the Broken Hill Nuclear Power Station. It was based off of this power station that literally sucks. But yeah, it's like supposed to say like, so the goal of the game is to survive a nuclear meltdown, and while trying to save the nuclear power plant by pressing scram and other procedures to at least save the nuclear power plant. It was pretty interesting, and along the game I also learned a lot about how nuclear power plants work, what meltdowns truly are, and how to save one. And that ended up interesting me even more, and eventually, I started learning more about them. I started learning about different power plants, for example, some other builds. That's why my nuclear power plant was called the Bonte Nuclear Power Plant. And even though it wasn't really actually how nuclear power plants work, it was still pretty interesting. Eventually, I would start making nuclear power plants, and by then, learn how they actually work. You're probably looking at this Minecraft build that I made, and, it looks pretty similar to a nuclear power plant, and that's because it is. And this is one of my Minecraft nuclear power plant projects that, I was talking to it in a post. This is the one that I was talking about. You have the reactors, we have those things, we got the giant cooling towers, and you got the systems here. And yeah, basically, all of this encouraged me, and I was pretty interested in the energy industry. And in general, it was a pretty long and fun journey. And at the same time, I ended up learning a lot how they work. Learning about the safety systems, and learning about the history of them, while also learning many stuff that people say about them. People say that, these cooling towers, they're emitting harmless gases. In reality, though, they're just releasing water vapor. And these reactors here, they're not inside of a building. They're actually inside of a dome that is outside of the whole central system and central building. And yeah, I was learning more and more and more. So basically, in conclusion, I learned about nuclear power plants. And not only that, but I ended up also having a fun journey while also learning. Because back when I was starting to learn about the nuclear power plants, I didn't fully understand how they really work. But as I progressed, I started learning more. And through this build, as you can see, I've learned a lot of how they work. And yeah, I decided to just see how they really work. And yeah, I ended up learning. So yeah, I'm very interested in that. And also, I'm not just interested in all of this. What really inspired me to make this whole build and also learn about stuff was actually Minecraft. It was all Minecraft, where I ended up getting more interested in general building, engineering, systems. That's all what I was interested in. I'm just interested in general industrial things. And nuclear power plants especially I'm very interested in, because they really are interesting when you really look at them at a good perspective. And it's not just nuclear. It's also basically every type of power plant. For example, gas-fired, coal-fired. No, not gas-fired. Natural gas-fired, coal-powered, water power plants like dams. I actually once visited one of the dams known as the Hoover Dam. Windmills. Yeah, there's a pretty wide range of power plants out there. Specifically, nuclear interested me, and yeah, it was just basically. So in conclusion, there's many things that inspired me to learn more about nuclear power plants. But as I see the way it is, this is just a new way to start learning. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but this is not just about me making nuclear power plants. It's about me learning how they work, looking at the systems, and alongside also exploring, making new journeys. And yeah, as you can see from this one build, it's so detailed. I literally detailed the inside of the reactor, as you can see right here. Or inside of the dome. So yeah, I understand. But I mean, yep. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, as you can see, this build is not finished. It's really open. Yeah, I mean, I think it really needs to be finished. Yeah, bye.